viewers. Hope it's a good Sunday for you. I am a invited collaborator in a new food collaboration that's out there on YouTube. It's called Noodle November 2022. It's being hosted by Tony at Kettle Kitchen, and my recipe is going to be in the description so you can make it if it looks yummy enough to eat for you. It looks pretty good for us. It's a casserole dish that I will use when Jerry's off bowling, because he's not really a big casserole person, but Robert and I will be good with it. And it's going to make up probably about 2 dinners. So this recipe can be split and it can be frozen. It can be made in advance, kept in the refrigerator for a couple days, and then pop it into the oven. It doesn't take very long for that. So I'm really excited to be doing this. I was very excited to be invited to do it because we're newbies to this food collaboration trend that's going through YouTube. And so thank you, Tony, for inviting us, and I hope everybody enjoys this Sloppy Joe Casserole.
December 1st?
Yes, thank you. Playlist is going to show all the collaborators, and I think he's got 2 a day, and the dates are on there so that you can kind of follow along that way and stay caught up. But if you go out and watch each video and make a comment about it, then on December 1st, 4 p.m. Pacific time, I believe it is. Yep, Pacific time, there will be a live giveaway. And by looking at the videos and making comments, it puts you into a drawing. And there could be drawings from people that leave comments and or people that leave comments during the live. So be sure and check out all these great cooks out there, and add a little repertoire to add some recipes to your repertoire. Sloppy Joe Casserole is going to have some ground beef.
Farm fresh.
It's going to have farfalle noodles, which to me look like bow ties, so I think you could go either way with it. It's going to have some chicken broth. I don't have an onion. Actually, I did find an onion, but I'm going to use my minced up onion in there. You need some whole corn and drained, and it will take a cup of that. It's going to take diced tomatoes, do not drain, and it's going to have Manwich sauce in it. Now, I didn't know that there was more than one flavor of Manwich sauces, and I sent Robert to the store and I said, be sure it's Manwich. You know, I don't want to get away from the recipe and be testing it out right now. So he came home and it's got bourbon barbecue, and so I think this might be a pretty good sauce for us to use because it's not.
We like bourbon.
Well, and also it's not tomato-y, which could be a little bit of acid. It also calls for Velveeta cheese. We are not Velveeta cheese fans unless we're fishing. So I did some research to see what alternative cheeses I could use in it. And actually you can use any kind of cheese you want. So this is cubed up cheese that's going to go in it. And then more cheese, which I'm going to shred to put on top when we pop it in the oven. This can be a one pot dish, or it can be a casserole dish, and I'm going with the casserole version. So I'm going to do a little bit more prepping. I don't think you want to sit there and watch me ground up ground beef or shred cheese. So we're going to take a pause and I'll be back with you. So I have the hamburgers all ground up, and I've got my onion in here. Now we're going to put in 2.5 cups of chicken broth, and we're going to put the Manwich sauce.
You put chicken broth instead of beef broth?
Yes,
for what reason?
because the recipe says so.
Oh, okay.
And since I've not made this before, this is the first time,
Excuse me.
I'm following the directions. Okay, so there's 2.5 cups of chicken broth. Turn our fire back on. 1 can of tomatoes, undrained, so you want that sauce in there with all the seasonings. And our bourbon barbecue sauce. Can you hand me a spatula? Perfect. And we'll mix this all together and get it to a slow boil.
When do you put the corn in?
The corn goes in after the pasta's cooked with the cheese, the cube cheese. That's where it makes it like a one-pot meal. You don't have to make the casserole, make it into casserole, but I'm going to. So I'm going to let this come up to a gentle boil, and then we'll be back to add in the noodles. And I don't know if I introduced myself in the beginning. I'm not sure if I did or I didn't, but it's Susan and Jerry with Butler Family Farm, and we are excited to be here.
Okay.
So we're putting in, I'm going to put all of it in. It said 3/4 of the box. I'll try to do 3/4 of the box. It does say on the box, al dente perfection in 11 to 12 minutes. I cook on a propane heat, so things always cook a little bit faster. So I'm going to put my timer on for 10 minutes and cook it like that. That should be fine. So. Well, that's about 3/4, so to mix it in, I'm going to put a cover on it, and as soon as they get mixed in, I'll set the timer. And I get these noodles down into the liquid. Al dente is one thing, but uncooked pasta is not fun.
Unless you need a little bit of crunch in your diet.
Yeah. It smells good. A barbecue, I can smell the barbecue, the bourbon barbecue.
The bourbon.
Okay, I think I've got this folded in pretty good, so I'm going to start my timer. And I have it down on low. I may, should I move it back to the back burner? Just leave it? Okay.
Put your lid on it.
This one will fit.
That's it. You may have to move it back. It's going to boil so fast.
The burners,
Suck.
this front one cooks really fast, even when it's on low. I want to calm down a little bit. This lid isn't for this pan, but it'll work. One thing I thought was interesting in the recipe, it says be sure and stir, get it all, your noodles all folded in really good, because you don't want them stuck to the bottom of your pan. So I think this is a little bit slower boil.
Yep, better.
So we'll see how the pan. Hollywood.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll check this in 10 minutes, maybe 9 minutes, and see you back. Reduce heat to low. Stir in the corn, add the cheese, and place the cover on the pot to allow it to melt. I already got it on low. Okay. We are al dente. Yes, thank you very much. We are al dente. And we're going to add 1 cup of drained whole corn, yellow corn, and we're going to add in the cubed cheese.
So heat on, still on?
Yes, it's supposed to be down low, which it is already. The cheese, the cubed cheese is 8 ounces of cubed cheese. I've added a little bit extra because I had some leftover that I wanted to use up, so this is going to be really cheesy.
We like cheesy.
But we like cheese.
Cheesy and bourbon. I just like saying bourbon.
Did you know that Mike Rose whiskey, or is it bourbon, is named after his grandfather?
Mm-hmm.
Sold in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Canable.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
It's not cheap stuff either.
No, and they're making bourbon or whiskey drinks, whatever it is. Okay. Cube cheese, and then we're going to cover it again so it can melt. I'm going to give it a little stir here just to help it out. I'm also going to preheat my oven to 375. This is my baking dish. I've had my spoon in there, or spatula. Baking dish. I had oil in it. I'll spray it again with whatever you want. I'm going to use avocado oil spray, and then we're going to dump all of this in there. Okay, so give it a little stir here. Oops. And oops. I'm going to put the cover back on. And this, your stove will cook different than mine. Mine was on low the whole time it was cooking the noodles, and so it's still on low. We'll just leave it that way. So, back in a few. Well, my oven's ready to go. I've sprayed my dish with my Pam avocado oil. I got my cheese topping ready to go, and now it's just a matter of scooping it in. And like I said earlier, you could just put your cheese on top and make it a one-pan meal. I want to pop it in the oven. The recipe I got is that I'm using is from the Cozy Cook, and she in the recipe has lots of pictures that look really good, and she also gives some serving suggestions. One of them was cornbread, and I think there was a couple other things, so you can go check it out on the internet. I will have the recipe in the description, as well as the playlist of the other collaborators in Noodle November 2022. yummy, Jerry?
Nope.
Because it's a casserole. It's got bourbon in it.
Not enough for me.
Okay, that's good.
Cooking it out.
Okay, it's going to go in the oven, 375 for 15 minutes. And then when you're ready to, if this were your dinner tonight, you would you could let it, what is it called, rest, like you do when you do steaks, and let everything kind of gel together.
Now we're talking steaks.
Okay, 15 minutes, I'll see you back here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the oven just went off, so our 15 minutes is up. Oh my. Oh, that's yummy looking. Yeah.
Yep, it's a casserole.
It's a casserole. So I'm going to let it set, and when it cools down, I'm going to split it, and Lee and I'll have some of it on Tuesday night because he bowls on Tuesday night, and the other half I'm going to put in my food saver bags and freeze it up. So might throw out a little shorty on Tuesday to let you know how it all tastes because it's too hot right now to try, and it's not in my plans for dinner tonight, but thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out all the other collaborators and make comments, because there is some prizes on December 1st when Tony Kettle Kitchen does his live giveaway. It's 4 o'clock Pacific time, which would be 6 o'clock our time. And to quantify for any of the prizes, you need to watch videos and leave comments to those collaborators, and hopefully you can get some new recipes for your family. Thank you.